is
Roaring Skies 2022.
Welcome to Roaring Skies. Thank you for joining us as we bring you live the last day of the Singapore Airshow 2022, Asia's largest aerospace and defense event. I'm Sharon.
And I'm JK. To those watching this show for the very first time, a very warm welcome to you.
Now, if you've been following our live streams over the last 3 days of the Airshow, thank you so much for your company.
Now, buckle up and hang on to your seats because in just a few minutes, we will be bringing you jaw-dropping aerial displays live from the Changi Exhibition Center, home to the 8th biennial event where aviation's finest meet.
Yes, that's right. This is where we usher in the future of flight. It's where military, industry and government leaders make important decisions about the aviation sector's future.
Well, I hope your eyes are hungry because we've got a visual feast coming to you by way of 7 aerial displays taking place in just a few minutes. Gotta ask you, Sharon, who will be taking to the skies?
Well, JK, here's the lineup of the scheduled displays that will be coming to you later. Today's displays will be brought to you by the air crew from the Republic of Singapore Air Force, the Indian Air Force, the United States Marine Corps, and the Indonesian Air Force.
Boeing and Airbus will also be flying their commercial planes past our show center later.
Well, before we turn our cameras to the clouds, let us whet your appetites with a taste of what's to come.
That's right. First, get up close and personal with the latest and greatest that aviation has to offer at the static aircraft display. Let's take a look. Wow, Sharon, did you know the very first successful flight actually took place more than 100 years ago in 1903? But in such a short span of time, aerospace technology has progressed so much where supersonic jets can break the sound barrier without breaking a sweat.
That's right. Well, air shows have come a long way too. The earliest aviation meets were around for as long as planes could fly. In fact, the first air show in Singapore took place on March 16th, 1911. That was also the day where the first successful flight took off from Singapore as well.
Well, coming up, let's take a look at how air shows have evolved since its inception in the early 1900s and what it's got to do with farmers.
Let's take a look.
The Singapore Air Show began in 2008, and this year marks its 8th show here. But did you know that the concept of air shows date as far back as the dawn of flight? These events came to be known as the Flying Circus or Barnstorming. Why barnstorming? Well, the name was a reference to the farmlands that were used as improvised landing strips for the aircraft. And because aviation was such a novel phenomenon back then, interest in these events quickly took off. thankfully, the enthusiasm for jaw-dropping aerial stunts still remain till this day. But there have been some notable changes to the experience of attending an air show. In the early days of aviation, aircraft could only travel up to about 75 miles per hour, while modern-day jets break the sound barrier at about 700 miles per hour. As aircraft got faster, they also got louder. In the early barnstormers, you could safely stand just meters away from a propeller-powered plane as it took off. But the sound of a modern-day jet during takeoff is over 1,000 times louder than a rock concert. Loud enough to burst your eardrums. So best put in your earplugs if you're at an air show today.
Well, seeing all that black and white footage of planes and comparing them to today's fighter jets, it really makes me appreciate how far aviation has come.
Truly very far. Well, fast forward to the present. We now turn our attention to an aircraft that you might have spotted in the static displays, the AH-64D.
For today's airshow trivia, I've got some interesting facts about the AH-64 Apache attack helicopter. Essentially a flying tank, the Apache is designed to be deadly and durable. Did you know that it is the first helicopter developed specifically for day, night, and adverse weather combat missions? And it also has a bulletproof glass cockpit. Its state-of-the-art weapons and targeting system can take down both airborne and ground adversaries with precision. That's it from me today. Now back to the studio.
Thank you, Ray, for those facts. Now, quite a few things I didn't know about the Apache helicopter there.
Well, Sharon, I have to ask you a question. Have you ever heard of the term backseat driving?
Backseat driving? Of course I have. In fact, I know quite a few backseat drivers myself.
Oh, you know my wife? Oh, yeah. Well, did you know that backseat driving or backseat piloting, in this case, is a very literal thing for pilots of Apache helicopters. In fact, the pilots actually sit in the rear with the co-pilot in the front. And that's because the Apache is a tandem seat helicopter.
Well, JK, you certainly waited till the last day to teach me something I didn't know about the Apache helicopter. Well, I know some people who would be much more familiar with the Apache than I am. They are the aerial display team from the Republic of Singapore Air Force. They'll be performing more than 10 maneuvers in the helicopter during their aerial display. So let's take a look at how they prepared.
For this year's air show, we'll be having 3 new maneuvers. First one is twin peaks. For the twin peaks, we'll be pitching up 60 degrees, nose up, before coming back down in a dive in front of the show center with my wingman. This requires a lot of coordination and synchronization between the two aircraft. For the second new maneuver is a corkscrew, where we'll be executing a steep spiral descent in front of the show center. This demonstrates the agility and maneuverability of the aircraft. For the last maneuver is a bow and tilted. It's the first time we are bringing 2 maneuvers together, and this requires very precise timing and coordination between the 2 aircraft. Catch us in action at the Singapore Air Show via the live stream.
Absolutely fascinating. All right, Sharon, I'm so excited for the air show displays. Aerial displays is coming up very shortly.
Well, last chance to see this.
Yes, so thank you so much once again. If you're joining us for the first time or for the 5th day, this is day 5, right?
I know.
Yeah, we've been doing it for so many days.
He's lost track of time.
Let's have a look at the Changi Exhibition Center. And a lot of things happening there right now, a lot of trade visitors, of course. I want to ask you a big question. What is the biggest highlight that you've really been impressed with?
Well, honestly speaking, I really like the aerial displays, including the Indian Air Force. But, you know, let's not forget the static displays.
That's right. What you're looking at right now are the assets from the RSAF that's at the front. Commercial planes at the back. And right now, the huge plane you're seeing in the center of the screen is the A330. But this one on the screen right now is actually the H225M. It's a brand new helicopter from the RSAF. We'll be replacing the Super Pumas in the near future. 20% longer range capability than the Super Pumas. So at the very same time as well, we are looking at other assets from the RSAF. On the left of your screen, that's my favorite with the F-15.
Right, that one we'll be seeing in the skies later.
Oh, later is actually going to be seeing the F-16.
Oh,
so
F-16,
let me tell you the very good way to tell the difference between
Right.
F-15 and F-16. The F-15 has twin engines at the back. You see at the back there?
Okay.
There's two. On the left, that's the F-16 and it only has one. So that's
That's
my
the one
son
we'll be
asked me
seeing.
what's the difference, right? That's exactly how you can tell, right? Now, at the back, you see there, that's the
large plane?
Yes, that's right. It's the A330 multi-role tanker transport, also known as the MRTT. It can actually conduct air-to-air refueling.
Well,
How
this
about
is
this
not
one?
an aircraft.
This one is the Aster 30 missile system. It's been integrated into the RSAF's networked island air defense system. So there are a lot of threats in the air. It can counter all these threats from fighter jets to even unmanned aerial
surface-to-air
vehicles.
missiles.
That's right. Hey, you know your stuff. You've been learning a lot in the last week.
Oh yes,
or so.
I guess I should be fair to you. You've taught me so much.
Oh, no, actually, we have a lot of notes. Now, at the very same time, if you
All
look
right,
at the skies,
JK, we have to go to the skies. That's our first aerial display.
the Apaches.
Number 29, all right? So without much further ado, kicking off the aerial display show is the Republic of Singapore Air Force, the RSAF, coming from afar, as you can see. I'd like to head you over right now to Military Expert 3, Vijay Parkrash, call sign Bowman.
A very good morning, Madam President, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Singapore Air Show 2022. The Republic of Singapore Air Force has stood up a team of two AH-64D Apache attack helicopters to kickstart the show, and then followed by a single F-16C Fighting Falcon for today's aerial demonstrations. Brought to you by our finest operational air crews from the RSAF. I'm Military Expert 3, Vijayan Prakash, call sign Bowman, and I will be your commentator for this segment of the show. Here they come, charging towards the show center from your front, is one of the most feared fighting machines in combat, the Vanguardians who lead the modern battlefield and famously known as the Red Hawks from the RSAF's 120 Squadron, opening the show with a cross dagger. Slicing through that close proximity break, both Red Hawks will demonstrate the aircraft's agility by pitching up and rolling over, executing the 180 wing over. And now, the Red Hawks come nose to cross at the show center to entice you with the X-Man. Rounding off the X-Men, Red Hawk 2 detects a threat on the ground and runs in to engage the target, while Red Hawk 1 climbs high to provide cover for his wingman. We call this the step-up high cover. Having eliminated the threat, Red Hawk 2 now races towards the show center for a victory pass. Get your cameras ready as the Apache reaches for the skies, followed by a sharp pedal turn through the horizon at almost zero speed, giving you the tail sweep.
It's about time that we set it off. Here we go. Red lights out.
As Red Hawk 2 completes the sweep, keep your eyes focused above the show center as Red Hawk 1 will be dazzling you with the maneuverability of this mighty machine with a steep spiral descent. Here comes the corkscrew.
Bang, 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 bang. This fire's a weapon. Bang, 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 bang. Won't stop till we're legend.
Coming in from your right, Red Hawk 2 will showcase the capability of the Apache by pitching up and almost rolling over, making a U-turn in the air. This is the 360 wing over.
A dreamer with the fever to be great was all I ever want, was all I ever wanted. A fighter with the fever for the
Piloting Red Hawk 1 is Major Tan Yi-Chi, call sign Sharkfin, officer commanding 120 Squadron. His co-pilot gunner in the front seat is Captain Wilson Quack, call sign Scrat. Together, they have a combined total of more than 3,000 hours flying the Apache. His wingman piloting Red Hawk 2 is Major Brian Tan, call sign Bo, Deputy Officer commanding 120 Squadron. His co-pilot gunner in the front seat is Captain Edwin Wong, call sign Stunner. Together, they have a combined total of 3,000 hours flying the Apache. As the Red Hawks re-enter the show center, they will pull up into a steep climb, thereafter defying gravity by floating in mid-air and then tipping over in unison into a negative G-dive, presenting the Twin Peaks. While the aircrew dazzles us with their spectacular maneuvers, behind the scenes is a dedicated and professional engineering team which maintains and prepares these fighting machines to ensure that they are show ready. Our engineering professionals are committed to the nation, the SAF, the RSAF, and to one another. Together, they will overcome adversity with courage and fortitude. Above all, our full-time national servicemen and regulars are the heart of our organization. Ladies and gentlemen, keep a lookout to your front as the Red Hawks join up into a close formation, flying around the show center. In combat, this maneuver presents a small signature and aims to confuse enemy ground radar on the total number of aircrafts in a formation.
I have my fun, make me insane, but I'm myself, I'm not insane. That's who I am, that's who I am, that's who I am. I have my doubts, I lose my strength, sometimes I fall, but I go back. That's who I am, that's who I am, that's who I am.
As Red Hawk 2 peels away from the formation, Red Hawk 1 exhibits the quick response of the Apache by coming to a quick stop. And now, Red Hawk 1 will be tracking back past the show center in a rearwards flight, presenting the Rewind. Red Hawk 1 will now push the envelope of this mean fighting machine by demonstrating the Viking Climb. RSAF pilots are trained to multitask while handling their highly sophisticated aircraft. These wing warriors incorporate their attained tactical knowledge into their daily training to stay at the peak of combat readiness. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, keep your cameras and eyes focused on the show center as the Red Hawks come together to present you a combination of two maneuvers for the finale. The RSAF dedicates this final maneuver to each and every one of you for your unwavering support to the Singapore Air Show during these uncertain and challenging times. Presenting the Bow and Tail Sweep.
Long live the champion! Long live the champion! Long live the champion! Long live the champion!
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us at the Singapore Air Show 2022. We hope that you have enjoyed the aerial display put up by the Red Hawks. This is Sharkfin checking out.
Long live the champion!
We have come to the end of the Red Hawks aerial display. We are honored to be part of the Singapore Airshow 2022. Coming up next will be the F-16C Fighting Falcon aerial display. For the RSAF, this is Bowman signing off and handing over controls to Mitsu.
Thank you, Bowman. What a fantastic display from the Red Hawks, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Military Expert 2 Marcus Wee, call sign Mitsu, and I'll be your commentator for this segment of the show. Speeding in from the right, we have the F-16 opening the show with a clover leaf. Get ready to be wowed by this magnificent jet, especially when those flares light up the sky. Piloting today's F-16C Fighting Falcon is Captain Tan Wei Yang, call sign Race. Captain Tan Wei Yang is a senior instructor pilot from 143 Squadron who has flown in excess of 1,000 hours in this jet. Coming in from your right, watch as the F-16 defies gravity with an inverted pass. This single-engine fighter has a thrust-to-weight ratio greater than 1, providing more than enough power to climb and accelerate vertically, faster than most of today's fighters. The next combat maneuver is known to the flyboys as the Falcon Turn. It is used in dogfights to outmaneuver enemies and gain the upper hand. With its state-of-the-art weapon system, allowing it to mount up to 11 other types of missiles and equipment, this Falcon is looking to dominate the skies. While supersonic speeds are critical in aerial combat, slow speeds are just as important. Although mostly known for its fearsome air superiority, the F-16 is also capable of pulling off a subtle and deliberate maneuver. Watch as Race comes in slowly from the right before pulling up into a powerful muscle climb. We call this the low and slow.
Where'd you go? I miss you so. Seems like it's been forever that you've been gone. Where'd you go? I miss you so. Seems like it's been forever that you've been gone. Please come back home.
The F-16 employs a fly-by-wire system, making the jet highly maneuverable, which, in a fighter jet, is king of just about everything. Making his entry into show center from your left, Race will flaunt the responsiveness and precise control of the F-16 with a crisp 4-point roll.
We're beautiful.
Inbound from your right, the F-16 will showcase its repertoire of lethal air-to-air fighting capabilities by executing a twisted loop.
Let's live tonight like fireflies, and one by one, light up the sky. We
As the Falcon descends, witness the force of 29,000 pounds of thrust as it blasts into full afterburner for a high G turn.
We're beautiful. We're beautiful now. We're beautiful now. We're beautiful now.
Today's high-speed F-16 demonstration would not have been possible without the hard work of our logistics experts. A round of applause for the men and women behind the scenes. Coming into show center from your left, Race will be dazzling you with a quadruple roll. A special mention goes out to our committed engineering experts, comprising both regulars and national servicemen. This team of professionals maintain this fighter aircraft in top condition, ever ready to respond.
Go ahead and hold that stage. Let's go. When you're made for this, yeah, it's obvious. Top another list. Let's go. Get ready for it. Get ready for it. Get ready for it. Yeah, this is it.
Born out of necessity, the F-16 is the first fighter aircraft intentionally designed to withstand moves of up to 9 times the force of gravity.
It's now or it's never. No plan with forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, from your front, with blistering speed and piercing the skies, behold, for the grand finale, Race will engage in a vertical roll, reaching up and moving onwards, representing our strength, energy, and dynamism to continually strive towards excellence.
So light 'em up.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us at the Singapore Air Show 2022. We hope that you have enjoyed the display. This is Race checking out.
Thank you for gracing us with your presence, Madam President. The RSAF would also like to thank each and every one of you, be it out there in the stands or on the live stream, for being a wonderful audience. We will be back for more, so we hope to see you all again in the next Singapore Air Show 2024. Till then, as always, for the RSAF, this is Mitsu signing off, wishing you a pleasant day and clear skies always.
Thank you very much, military expert to Marcus Wee. It's a call sign Mitsu, talking through us the excellent display from the F-16C Fighting Falcon from the RSAF. And we certainly hope you had the 2 performances put up by our friends from RSAF. Early on, you saw the AH-64D Apache attack helicopters, and followed by the F-16C Fighting Falcon. And of course, we have more displays coming our way, and we're anticipating the next aircraft coming in right now. The next one is one of our 2 commercial companies showcasing the aircrafts here today at the Singapore Air Show 2022. So if your eyes are in the skies right now to your extreme right coming away, you can actually spot the industry's newest wide-body airplane. Introducing the Boeing 777X. Well, based on the most successful twin-aisle airplane ever, the Boeing 777, with advanced technologies from a 787 Dreamliner family, Boeing says it has designed the 777X family to maximize efficiency and environmental performance. Well, this airplane, WH001, is a 777-9 model designed to be the largest and most fuel-efficient twin-engine jet in the world. And one of the first things you'll notice are those beautiful, graceful, long wings of a 777X, characteristic of this airplane family. The 777X family features a new 4th generation composite wing with a 72-meter span optimized to reduce fuel and emissions in flight. That's longer than today's 777, but thanks to a simple mechanism, once on the ground, the rigged wing tips fold up so that the airlines can use the same 777 gates. Well, this specific airplane, known as the WH001, was the first 777 ever to fly back in January 2020. And to date, Boeing has flown more than 650 flights and 1,800 hours with its fleet of 4 flight test airplanes, a rigorous test program to demonstrate the safety, reliability, and performance of a 777X ahead of certification and its first delivery in late 2023. Well, another defining feature of the 777X family are those large and quiet engines. The new GE9X engine are supplied by GE Aviation. The GE9X is the most advanced and fuel-efficient commercial engine ever, more than 5% more efficient than anything in its class. And combined, the all-new high-efficiency wing and engine make the 777X 10% more fuel-efficient than the competition, with 10% lower emissions and 10% better economics as well. Well, the aircraft can serve 426 passengers with a range of 7,285 nautical miles or 13,500 kilometers. Today, the 777X family has 334 orders from 8 customers from around the world, including Singapore Airlines. And Boeing also expanded the family by launching the freighter version, the 777-8 Freighter, with orders of up to 50. And we thank Boeing for bringing this beautiful airplane to us for this exciting display. And approaching our display next, the aerial displays will include a debut appearance by the Indian Air Force's light combat aircraft, the LCA or the Tejas. I'd like to introduce to you to Indian Air Force commentator, Squadron Leader Vivek.
Namaste, Madam President and the lovely people of Singapore. I'm Squadron Leader Vivek Nalge from the Indian Air Force, and I'll take you through an aerial ballet performed by the Pride of India, the light combat aircraft Tejas. Group Captain Manish Tolani, or Tolly as we call him, will get your feet tapping, pulse racing and mind reeling. Ladies and gentlemen, look to your right, presenting before you the light combat aircraft, Tejas. Dolly will begin the show with the hesitation roll. And there he goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a bonus. He now pulls up for the vertical pitchback to quickly turn around for an engagement. Watch him as he rolls off, and there go the heat seekers off the rails. Now turn hard left with max rate for a quick burst of the 23mm gun. And the threat ceases to exist. Continue to look out for Tolly as he now positions for the signature maneuver, the red-eye turn. In this maneuver, the aircraft and the pilot are pushed to the other end of the flight envelope. The aircraft is subject to a negative 3.5 G. There she goes, banking right and turning left. Tejas in English means radiance. This machine is the lightest, meanest, and the most potent platform amongst its contemporaries anywhere in the world. Light, it may be, but it packs a heavy punch when it comes to combat. She glides like a butterfly, but stings like a bee. Ladies and gentlemen, look straight ahead as Tolly positions for an aerial salute to the wonderful people of Singapore. And there she goes, pulling up into the sky, flaunting the Delta platform. With this, I would say, Majula Singapura. Continue looking out as she comes down for the Formula 1 turn, tighter than Michael Schumacher in his Ferrari. For all the Formula 1 enthusiasts out there, watch as it turns effortlessly in just a few hundred meters. For the slow march, which is dedicated to the frontline health workers all across the globe who have been battling the COVID-19 pandemic for the past 3 years. Look to your left as Tolly has knocked off some knots and will glide effortlessly past you at a staggering speed of just 120 knots. Tolly has now engaged the burners of the beast behind the seat and watch him zoom into the sky. The aircraft and the crew performing for you today are from the number 18 and number 45 Squadron of the Indian Air Force. Since its inception in 2016, Tejas has been the center of attraction of the display arenas and center of discussions in the military ops rooms. Ladies and gentlemen, look to the right as he positions himself off a half roll for the last maneuver, the Spider-Man farewell. He will now carry out multiple rolls and invert his bird to bid farewell. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for the wonderful people, wonderful display put up by Tolly. That's it from me at the Tejas Tactical Air Display team. Hope you have enjoyed the show as much as we did putting it up for you. See you again in 2024. This is Wendy signing off. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih once again, our friends from the Indian Air Force. That's Squadron Leader Vivek talking us through the aerial display of the LCA, the light combat aircraft, the Tejas from the Indian Air Force. And this is the first time they're making an appearance over at the Singapore Air Show 2022. We certainly hope you enjoyed that performance by our friends from the Indian Air Force. And wherever you are right now at the bottom, looking at the skies, checking out the displays, you have a couple more to go. We certainly hope that you're nicely tucked in, very comfortable wherever you are in a shady area and having your cameras zooming and snapping.
Well, a round of applause for the aircrew from the Indian Air Force.
We see the Airbus.
Right now, introducing the largest clean sheet wide body in the market. This is the Airbus A350-1000. Well, dubbed the new king of the skies, this aircraft sits over 400 passengers in a comfortable 3-class configuration. The aircraft makes an extensive use of carbon fiber in its lightweight structure, including the famous curved wings and the 74-meter fuselage. As a result, when this aircraft takes off, it is 45 tons lighter than its competitor. Reducing weight means reducing fuel and emissions, and for this reason, the A350-1000 is the most sustainable aircraft for decades to come. Every day and for every flight, it delivers a 25% reduction in emissions compared to older generation aircrafts. State-of-the-art aerodynamics combined with the most efficient large aero engines make the A350 remarkably quiet for passengers and communities. The A350-1000 is powered by 2 Rolls-Royce Trent XWB engines, delivering up to 97,000 pounds of thrust. The A350-1000 is operated worldwide today, connecting distant regions, bringing people closer together with a range of 8,700 nautical miles. And this makes the A350 family the true long-range leader. With its award-winning airspace cabin, airlines operating the A350 offer passengers the most innovative and comfortable experience in the sky. And thanks to a single type rating, only one pool of pilots, cabin crew, and engineers are needed to operate the A350 family that benefit from 95% commonality in spare parts. And this year in Singapore, the family welcomes its new member, the recently launched A350 Freighter. The A350F brings the latest generation of efficiency and a smart choice to the large freighter market. With its pioneering spirit, the A350 is shaping the future of air travel. Continue our air display show right now, introducing, ladies and gentlemen, the United States Marine Corps F-35B Lightning II. And over to our commentator, First Lieutenant Kenny Valentini.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, the 1st Marine Aircraft Wing, Marine Aircraft Group 12, and Marine Fighter Attack Squadron 242 take great pleasure in presenting the F-35B Lightning II, the world's first short takeoff, vertical landing, or STOVL stealth fighter. Today's flight demonstration will consist of both the conventional and short takeoff and vertical landing modes of flight. Your F-35 demonstration pilot is Lieutenant Colonel Rob Guyette, call sign Champ, from Phoenix, Arizona. He's been flying all 3 variants of the F-35 since 2012, when he transitioned from the F-18 Hornet. The F-35 is a multi-role aircraft produced by Lockheed Martin and is a result of a multi-service, multinational effort, currently spanning 3 U.S. services and 9 partner nations. The F-35 family of aircraft is currently flown by the United States Marine Corps, United States Navy, and the United States Air Force, as well as the navies and air forces of the United Kingdom, Australia, Italy, Israel, Japan, Norway, and the Netherlands. From the right, the pilot is now setting up for a minimum radius turn, demonstrating the tight turn radius of the F-35 while in full afterburner. Once out of the loop, the pilot will pull straight into the vertical and perform a high alpha loop, showcasing the F-35's ability to maneuver from a high-speed, high-G turn across the ground into a very tight, slow-speed loop into the vertical. The combination of the stealth features, the Lightning's active electronically scanned array radar technology, and the aircraft's ability to carry weapons internally means the F-35 can engage targets at long ranges without detection. The F-35 is now setting up for a high-speed climb from the left. As the F-35 approaches show center, the pilot will execute a high-G pull into the vertical, followed by a 360-degree aileron roll. The F-35 Joint Strike Fighter is a result of a Department of Defense program to provide a next-generation strike aircraft weapon system for the Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, and our allies. In addition to its impressive stowable capabilities, the F-35 is designed to be capable of carrying a wide array of the most advanced precision-guided air-to-surface munitions, air-to-air missiles, and a missionized 25mm cannon. From the left, the F-35 is preparing to execute the square loop maneuver. This is a demanding maneuver that contains the most dangerous pull of the routine as the jet goes into the vertical nose high, pulls inverted over the top, and then it goes pure nose low at maximum afterburner prior to squaring off the bottom of the loop. Make sure to notice as airplane pauses on all four sides of the square. The F-35 possesses the most powerful and comprehensive integrated sensor package of any fighter aircraft in history. Its next-generation avionics and sensor fusion give the pilot real-time access to battlefield information with 360-degree coverage. Advanced electronic warfare capabilities enable the F-35 to locate and track enemy forces, jam radio frequencies, and disrupt attacks with unparalleled precision. The F-35 is capable of advanced handling in the slow speed regime based upon sophisticated fifth-generation control laws. The power of the F-35 engine can provide enough thrust to maintain the aircraft in level flight at very low airspeeds. Watch the horizontal tails work hard as the aircraft maintains altitude with the nose pointed high into the sky. Get those cameras ready. From the right, the F-35B Lightning II executing the slow speed, high angle of attack pass. The pilot has now selected maximum afterburner, displaying the raw power of the F-35B's engine in a vertical climb. As the F-35 approaches pure nose high, watch as the pilot commands full aft stick, and the jet performs a high angle of attack pull into the nose low inverted, followed by a roll up tight to complete the half Cuban 8. The F-35 is designed to replace multiple strike and fighter aircraft inventories, including U.S. Air Force A-10s and F-16s, U.S. Navy FA-18s, and U.S. Marine Corps AV-8Bs, FA-18s, and EA-6Bs. The F-35 is capable of conducting extreme maneuvers in the vertical with the advanced fifth-generation flight control laws only seen with the F-22 Raptor and the F-35B Lightning II. From the right, the pilot will demonstrate the fifth-generation advanced flight control laws as he prepares to execute the pedal turn. Watch as the F-35 uses a high G pull to pure nose high, followed by an inverted pull to enter the pedal turn. The pilot will display how we can rapidly rate the nose around in any direction as the aircraft looks as if it's falling through the sky. As the pilot levels off from the extremely dynamic pedal turn, he will immediately convert the aircraft into STOVL mode to return back in front of the crowd and hover. You will notice several doors opening on the aircraft. The large door on the top of the aircraft just behind the canopy is the upper lift fan door. This is the intake for the horizontally mounted forward lift fan. Opposite this door on the bottom of the aircraft, you can see the lower lift fan doors, which are the exhausts for the lift fan. You will also see the doors at the rear of the aircraft which open to allow the main engine exhaust nozzle to rotate down. The entire weight of the aircraft will be supported by the thrust from the lift fan, main engine, and roll control nozzles, generating upwards of 40,000 pounds of thrust. This capability to conduct vertical landing operations is what allows the F-35B to operate from amphibious ships and provides additional flexibility for operations in austere environments. Once stabilized in the hover, the pilot will show the smooth handling characteristics of the F-35B in the STOVL flight regime with a sideward and aft translation, followed by a 360-degree pedal turn. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the aerial demonstration of the F-35B Lightning II. We would like to acknowledge the hard work and dedication of all the Marines and sailors of Marine Fighter Attack Squadron 242, without whom this demonstration would not be possible. They are and will forever be Semper Fidelis.
Thank you very much, First Lieutenant Kenny Valentini, telling us about the United States Marine Corps' F-35B Lightning II. I'm sure all of us enjoyed that performance up in the skies. And of course, this is the Singapore Air Show 2022. Of course, we're waiting our very next aerial display item, which should be coming on very, very shortly. This is from nearby region around Singapore. Just join us here. A big welcome to the Indonesia's Jupiter aerobatic team. And over to Major Olive Rizando, call sign Cyborg.
Ladies and gentlemen, on all Changi Exhibition Center visitors, on behalf of Indonesian Air Force, we will proudly present the special performance from Indonesian Air Force, Jupiter Aerobatic Team. I am Major Olive Rizando, call sign Cyborg, will be your guide for the next 15 minutes standing maneuvers of the Jupiter. Coming from the right, the Jupiters will be performing Jupiter Roll. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the first maneuver of the Jupiters with Jupiter Roll. The Jupiters is the current Indonesian aerobatic team displayed with 6 KT-1B. Painted with red and white scheme like Indonesian national flag color. The Jupiter has been elected as Indonesian ambassador of the sky and becomes an iconic Indonesian aerobatic team. Moving to the left corner, the Jupiter is fly in extraordinary formation. Jupiter is transitioning themselves to be another formation, which is an inverted triangle. the left corner, this is a Jupiter with Delta Blue. Ladies and gentlemen, for our next performance, the Jupiters will demonstrate their confidence and spirit for the show. The Jupiters will fly in the shape of eagle formation. This formation symbolizes Indonesian Air Force as the air guard of the nation. The Jupiters will pull up high, and at the top of the loop, they will transform to be arrowhead formation. The great performance of the Jupiters built from continuous training programs, step by step and overwhelmed with high spirit, motivation and discipline. The team is named by Jupiter after the call sign of Indonesian Air Force flying instructors. Ladies and gentlemen, as the leader of Jupiter 1, Major Ripdo Utomo, call sign Mohawk, the commanding officer of 102 Squadron. The team is drawn from Flying Training Wing posted in Yogyakarta, southern part of Indonesia. From our 12 o'clock, like the mighty eagle, they fly confidently. This is the Jupiter with Eagle 2 Arrowhead Loop. Watch closely and prepare your camera. Focus on outer wingman. And here we go. Break off. Now. Let's have a look at the left and the right. The lead synchro and the synchro after breaking off are going to make twin half cubit. As the lead synchro or Jupiter 5 is Major Habibi, call sign Corby, and his pairing Jupiter 6 is Major Idam, call sign Godam. And continue from left and right. The synchro will make head-on pass to start next maneuver called Jupiter wheel. This is Jupiter with head-on pass. Synchro make horizontal line maneuver on the same altitude, same speed with the minimum distance. This is the synchro with Jupiter wheel. Meanwhile, 4 other aircraft will come from the front. The main body is preparing for an I-trig formation change. We will see the main body begin with tango formation, then make a vertical loop and transform to be diamond formation once they are on the top of the loop. Ladies and gentlemen, now the Jupiter is running in front of you, and this is the Jupiter with Tango 2 Diamond Loop. As Jupiter 2 right wingman is Major Ngurah, call sign Viper, and Jupiter 3 left wingman, Major Anggoro, call sign Greco. Again, from the right corner, the synchro will demonstrate an extreme two-ship maneuver. Jupiter 5 will fly inverted and Jupiter 6 will fly exactly underneath in a distance as close as 10 feet. Flying proudly the Synchro with mirror. Well, ladies and gentlemen, just sit back and relax. Following from the right corner, a superb dynamic control will be displayed by Jupiter 4. Captain Bayu, callsign Meerkat, will demonstrate the effect of radiology in a confident manner for this magnificent show. From the right corner, flying confidently, the Jupiter with screw roll. Ladies and gentlemen, please prepare your camera for this special moment as a symbol of love to all of you. The Synchro Jupiter 5 and Jupiter 6 will paint the sky of Singapore with a symbol of heart. This is the Synchro with heart maneuver.
Menggapai langit yang tinggi, jalani hari dengan berani, tegaskan suara hati.
And now coming from the front left, the main body will demonstrate their ability to dance in the sky, making roll slide one by one. From our 12 o'clock, and here we go. This is Jupiter. Roll, 1 roll, 2 roll, 3 roll, and 4 roll.
Kita akan bertahan, hadapi rintangan, perlahan-lahan dan menang. Jalani hari dengan berani, tegaskan suara hati.
Coming from our 12 o'clock, Major Idam or Jupiter 6 will be pulling up with 7 Gs to demonstrate the vertical roll. He will reach 0 speed and make tail slide without any hesitation. From our 12 o'clock, this is Jupiter 6 with solo speed.
Takkan berhenti di sini, marilah meraih mimpi.
Look up the sky. Jupiter 6 is turning into spinning phase and being uncontrolled. Can he recover? Let's wait and see. Come on, Jupiter 6, you can make it. 1, 2, 3, and fully recover. Meanwhile, coming from the right corner, 5 aircraft will make a horizontal maneuver in a 10-feet distance with 5-card formation. The Jupiters equipped with white smoke generators to paint the sky of Singapore. KT-1B Wongbi, as we know as a propeller aircraft, has more difficulties to fly in a formation, even more for an aerobatic team. But the Jupiters have proven that the tough and hard training will eliminate all of the difficulties. Running from the right, Jupiter with 5-card pass. The Jupiters re-established in 2011 after several years inactive. Previous performance of the Jupiters are 100 years commemoration of aviation in Thailand, Langkawi International Maritime and Aerospace Exhibition, Brunei Darussalam International Defense Exhibition, and today we are here again for the Singapore Air Show 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, the formation will be flying from the left corner in the leader benefit formation. This formation, all wingmen will stick together in one line just behind the leader. The maneuver shows loyalty and respect to the leader as well as symbolizes professionalism of all Jupiter members. From the left corner, this is the Jupiter with leader benefit pass. Keep your eyes to the outer wingman, Jupiter 5 and 6. Roll back. For the show today, act as the flight director, Colonel Ferry Yunaldi, Colson Mirage. Our distinguished audience, for our final performance, the Jupiters will demonstrate their confidence and spirit until the end. The Jupiter established for the first time in mid-90s, equipped with 6 BA Hawk Mark 53, and performed the first air display in 1997. After several years inactive, in 2008, the Jupiter re-established with 4 KT-1B Wongbi. The first debut was Indonesian Armed Forces anniversary in 2011, and at the present, elected as Indonesian Ambassador of the Sky, and already become an iconic Indonesian aerobatic team. Coming from the right, all members of Jupiters will be performing loop vertically, and at some point, the formation will fly 90 degrees roll at longitudinal axis and separate to different directions like a waterfall. This is the final performance from the Jupiter with Clover Leaf. All members stick together, and Singapore, be prepared for the beauty of Cascade. Break off now! Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an honor for me, Major Olive Cyborg, to guide you through the entire show. On behalf of Indonesian Air Force, Jupiter Aerobatic Team, deliver our best regards. Thank you very much, and see you in 2024 in the next performance with the Jupiters.
And a big thank you to the Indonesia's Jupiter Aerobatic Team from the Indonesian Air Force with a very strong commentator.
And that was the KT-1B that you just saw. That amazing display proudly brought to you by the Jupiter Aerobatic Team from the Indonesian Air Force.
And that was also the final display on this final day of the Singapore Air Show 2022. Thank you to all the teams for the heart-stopping sights and sounds over these last few days.
Well, the flight crew have a very special message for all of us as the air show comes to a close. Let's take a look.
We hope you have enjoyed Singapore Air Show 2022. This is Team RSAF signing off. Above all!
We hope you enjoyed the demonstration. Thanks for coming.
Number 5!
Thank you, Singapore.
We hope everyone enjoyed the Singapore Air Show 2022.
Bye-bye!
What a heartwarming send-off.
Indeed, thank you to all the air crew that contributed to the Singapore Air Show 2022. You know, JK, over the last few days, we've been seeing all these planes whizzing around really quickly. It's so close together. I was actually a little afraid for the pilots. There were some really heart-stopping moments.
Well, you know, Sharon, perhaps sometime in the near future, you will never have to feel that way.
Really? Why do you say that?
3 letters.
Really?
UAV.
Okay, hang on, I got this. Unmanned aerial vehicles.
Ding, 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 ding. You know, we caught up with Jonathan Yong, who knows all about UAVs. He's one of the program directors of the robotics division at the DSO National Laboratories. Let's hear from him.
When we started this project, we wanted to create a UAV that was easy to operate that doesn't require launch and recovery infrastructure and yet has superior performance. The product of our R&D was the V15, a lightweight, fully electric UAV that has both long endurance and vertical takeoff capability. That enables the SAS to operate from tight spaces to conduct aerial surveillance missions. The SO has been around for 50 years now, and this year we're celebrating our 50th anniversary, and it definitely brings me great pride and joy seeing one of the systems that we developed displayed here at the Singapore Air Show.
And with that, we've come to the end of our show. Thank you so much for joining us right here on Roaring Skies 2022. It's time for us to say our goodbyes for the last time and take off.
Right, we've certainly enjoyed your company. Till next time, this is Sharon.
And I am JK.
Bye.